So I've got some bit of rough looking celery to use up, so I thought I'd make a quick celery soup. So I've chopped up an onion, I've quickly chopped a couple of garlic. I don't have to chop it small because I'm going to whiz it later. So that's the next thing, is to chop up the celery and chuck it in. So there we go. I've chopped the worst bits off the celery. And waste not, want not. The leaves and everything go in there. I did put a little bit of olive oil to start off with, but it can be, doesn't have to be olive oil. It can be sunflower oil just as well. I'm going to leave that to simmer for a couple of minutes just to soften everything up, and then I'm going to I'll sort out the kettle, get boiling some water for some stock. Right, I'm putting about a teaspoon of dill in. Now, if you haven't got dill, I reckon tarragon would go nice. And if you haven't got tarragon, just some mixed herbs will do to help add a bit of flavour. So I've got my stock cube, and my kettle's already boiled over here. So I'm going to pour that in till it covers those vegetables. I'm going to leave it cooking for another about 4 or 5 minutes. I've seasoned it, oiled it a little bit. The celery's still nice and crispy, I think. It feels quite firm still, so that's good. I'm actually thinking it might be quite a nice idea to throw in a few peas in here just to make it, give it a bit more flavour, because I've had to put in a lot of more onions. Well, I found some onion that I needed using up in the fridge, so I've chucked that in. So I'm thinking that I could add a few frozen peas in there if I wanted to give it a little bit more flavour and counteract the onions. Anyway, so I might just do that before I whiz it, because they don't take, they only need defrosting. What I'm going to do now is I am going to get a few pieces of frozen mash. Now, you could have put in potato, small potato from the beginning, chopped up. That works just as well. But I always have frozen mash in the freezer just for this purpose, and for that amount of soup, those 6 pieces should do the job. So I'm going to let those defrost before I whiz it. I might just go and see if I've got a few peas while I'm at it. So my potato is dispersed through. Now it's defrosted, and you can see I've added a few peas in there. I'm just going to let it boil for a minute and then give it a whiz. Now I'm going to use a hand whisk. If you are not using a hand whisk, then just chop everything much smaller, especially the garlic. You want the flavours to disperse a bit more, but you know, you don't actually need to whiz it with the hand blender. There you go, I've hand blended it. I think the peas have given it a little bit of a nicer green colour, and the dill smells gorgeous, and I've tasted it and it's really nice. So don't chuck any leftover vegetables away. There's always something you can do with them.